Well, greetings, folks. This old sword is back with you, and we're back with a very special type of knife. It is a Pikal knife. That's a Filipino term. It's an Elvia knife if you're a Libre practitioner and studying the El Calderon methods of knife fighting. This is a knife I've been after for a while, but has been out of stock since like forever. Until I found out recently that it appeared on Knives Ship Free. Highly recommend them. They are fast to ship. Shipping is free, and you can get a lot of stuff you can't get elsewhere. So this is the Kopis Designs Elvia. And again, it is the specific knife that is recommended and used in the Ed's Manifesto Libre fighting methodology. It had its origin with a Henkel's fruit knife, which perhaps you've seen. And this is very close to that original knife that could be picked up in any store that sells cutlery, kitchen cutlery, what have you, steak knives, paring knives, and there's a lot of variants of that knife. Now this one is adapted a little more to the use of the edge in point down because we've got a little finger groove cut out here, and it's jimped as a matter of fact. This is an injection molded, probably FRN handle. It is a 154 cm blade steel, so we got a pretty good steel going. And the angle of the blade is canted up more than the original fruit knife. Those are some of the main differences. If you just look it up and see that fruit knife out there on Amazon or wherever, or in your local five and dime store, not five and dime, but probably department store, Kohl's, whatever, you will recognize the knife. A little different on this one, extremely lightweight, and this is going to be a feather when we weigh it. Can be used in this position, kind of the way that, is it Craig Douglas? Forget the man's first name. Last name is Douglas. Better known previously as Southnark, who invented the Pikal knife for Spyderco. He holds the knife this way a lot because he uses it to fight against somebody trying to take your sidearm. So a lot of that is this way. And in the Filipino dialect of knife fighting, we use it in this sock position, coming in with hooking strikes and pulling cuts. But this one primarily is known for being held in this position. Comes with a very interesting and useful adapted sheath. We have a wave opening feature, not on the knife, but on the sheath. So when this is in the pocket, you would hold it this way, left hand or right hand, ambidextrous. And as you bring it forward, it catches the fabric of your pocket and breaks free. Hard to do it in that position. Trust me, it's easier when it's in the pants. Excuse me. Happening again, ate something and got little bits of it caught in my throat. Not a good time to be doing a video, but nonetheless, I will do it. So that is the Elvia by Kopis Designs. Let's put the tape on it. It is a minimalist knife for its purpose. It is only 6.5 inches long with a blade of about, I'd say, 2.35 and a cutting edge of about 2 1/8. Not a lot of knife there, but then again, you don't need a lot of knife for the given purpose here. In inches, the handle is 0.40, pretty thin. Let's keep it on inches. And we've got a pretty thin blade stock of only 0.06. In millimeter language, 1.5 millimeters. And before you start saying that's too thin, it's not going to be something that you pry with. It isn't going to be something that sees a utility kind of use. It's a knife with one purpose in mind, and that is to jab and rip. Jab, 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 rip, rip, rip. Rip this way, rip that way, whatever. Finally, the weight, as I said we would give you, with and without the sheath. First, without the sheath, in ounces, hopefully. How about 1.43 ounces? That's right, 1.43 ounces. Quite thin. With the sheath on, 2.06, call it 2.07 ounces. So yes, featherweight. I had this in my pocket all week since getting it, and I didn't even know it was there. And again, I don't know if I can thumb it off. Yeah, I can thumb it off pretty well. Basically what you do is you can certainly mount this with a DCC clip or with a tech lock. Not a tech lock when we're talking about. That's just a little too big. A DCC clip or an Alti clip is what I was thinking of. That's certainly something you could use on this and then attach that to the pocket, but you would have the handle sticking out. The beauty of this sheath is that you can just drop it in the pocket, okay? Reach in, grab the knife, and that's when it'll hook on the pants. And sometimes that sheath comes flying out. One remedy for that is you put a tether here and loop it around your belt. And then you can grab the knife, pull it fully out of the pocket, and snap the sheath off by that tension line. Or you can pull it off here and not worry about the sheath dropping to the ground. Of course, in dire circumstances, I don't worry about the sheath dropping to the ground. Good tight fit, and you know, that's as it should be. When you grab it with purpose, it definitely comes out, does not hang up, snaps right off. Here's a little closer look at that handle. Injection molded, you can see a little seam down the middle. I'm told the tang goes all the way up to about here, so we really don't need to worry about any flex in the handle. And it's a very rigid Zytel plastic, if it is indeed Zytel. I don't know for sure that that is the material. Very simple little knife. These are running about $100 on Knives Ship Free. Not sure they're still available, but that's where I got mine. And they do come in and out of stock, as I said. Try to find a few things similar. So what I did find is the knife designed by Bastian Cove and Dagmar Kyde called the Anomaly. And that is from Bastianelli Knives. Very similar in size. I thought it would be a little bigger, but very, very similar. Handles the same size, except we've got the ring. And it's the Anomaly because it's built like a karambit, but the blade is tilting the other way, tilting the other way. But we've got pretty much the same blade profile, slightly wider, but the same cant and everything. So if you like the ergos on this, you could probably use this pretty effectively. You don't need to use the ring. Back out a little bit. You can certainly hold it this way. You can use the ring to pop it out, etc., etc. So that is the Anomaly by Bastianelli Knives. Comes in a big old long weird looking sheath that does work. Here's a custom Jerk Pinkerton And this is his Smilodon double edge. For size, certainly wider, certainly heavier, certainly thicker steel. And it is a higher end steel, CTS XHP. But again, it's a custom knife. It's going to run you a couple $100. And you may not want to put that out. Here's $100. Here's a couple hundred, maybe a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe $2.25, $2.50-ish from Dirk. You'd need to contact him to find out. Nice sheath. And this one is set up with kind of a DCC clip. I think this was one that came with another knife. Another one by Dirk that is becoming popular. You're going to see more of them. This is the Ferrule. This is his entry into more of an Elvia style knife. And you can see a little shorter handle on that one. Little bit longer blade. Overall, just about the same length knife. Just a lot different profile. And this one is in CPM 3V. Again, you're going to be paying for that. And I'm not trying to steer you clear of custom knives, but for the $100, if they're available, that Kopis is a good way to go. Finally, from BlackRock Knives, this is the Virus. Had this one for a while. This is again the Hikate design, and it is a bit more of a heavy-duty Pikal style knife. A good deal longer, about 1.5 inches longer, with a blade, if we talk about the blade being here, about 3/4 of an inch longer. Much thicker stock on the steel, although not extremely thick. And it is a chisel grind with one flat side and one side with a bevel on it. So is this a good way to go? Can it be used for utility? Certainly you're going to carry it and not know it's there, depending upon how you want to carry it. But you could peel an apple with it. I don't see why not. Comes through blazing sharp. Not sure I got enough paper left over here to test it out with, but maybe we do. Oh yeah. It is a razor blade with that thin stock, and even with the Scandi sort of grind on there, as you can see, very shallow bevel. It is just wickedly sharp. And truth be told, it came through sharp, and all I did was touch it a few times on a strop. You just kind of go on the edge of the strop, and it became even more blazingly sharp. So crazy sharp knife, you don't need to worry about that. Is the blade long enough? Absolutely. For this type of technique, that is all you need. It rips and it tears. You've got a full-size handle, just enough. You can cap it. And for those of you that have these or have knives like this, I don't need to sell you on the fact that they are effective get-off-me knives, right? Last-ditch self-defense. Get-off-me knives as coined by Tim Kell from Tikal Knives. Well, it's late. I'm a bit tired. I'll show you one more comparison just so you have perspective. And there is the Griptilian, a giant knife by comparison to this little Kopis Elvia. Well, let me know what you think. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I'll be back with you soon. Take care.